Hello and welcome to NWF Forward. My name is the Irish grappler John McCann, your resident Northern Irish heavyweight champion, filling in for the show dodger Ricky Henry. It's good to be back.
And I am, which normally you'd introduce me, John, but I'll introduce myself. I am the 5-time NWF World Champion, and I get to say it properly instead of Ricky disrespecting me like he does. And in shape crusher, as I like to say, who I influenced this guy right here next to me to start hitting the gym up now lately too. And I got to say, it's looking good. It's
Guns for days.
I'm never going to criticize anybody too much on getting into the gym. Everybody should get in the gym if they can.
As
So
you
I'm not gonna rub that in too much, but I did,
Can't believe it.
And of course, the cowardly kid himself, he had to follow suit too, and he's following you into the gym as well. So yeah,
Seems to be all your trainees are quite cowardly, but yeah, we'll leave it at that.
I think what it is Ricky's just scared. He's running scared. He knows something's coming down the pipe here, and he doesn't know what to expect. And so now he's afraid it may have been this show, and so he ducked and dodged right out of the whole show and brought you in. That's what I think's happening.
Show dodger it is. Show dodger it is.
Show dodger. But now let's talk about you, John, since you're here.
Yep.
Brand new NIPW heavyweight champion.
Well, we went through a few different phases, so we went through, let's say, the phase of the resolution champion, and now let me get this beautiful gold on both of my shoulders. Ain't nobody like it.
And the resolution championship was retired for the NIPW heavyweight championship.
So I am the last holder of this prestigious title. This is one I actually got into the business just to get. It's one I'd always wanted.
Yeah, that's the one you wanted to get, and you did get it. How long ago was that match?
That was roughly about 59 days ago. I checked it yesterday, and then now you're reigning and defending Northern Ireland heavyweight champ.
And guys, make no mistake, John is probably, I think you're close to my size, maybe around 165, 170 pounds, roughly, give or take. And
roughly about that.
But he's won against just about everybody in the entire league over there, and it doesn't matter how big or small they are. Believe me, he's earned the heavyweight championship. So yeah, and that's pretty cool stuff. I'm glad. Congratulations, John. I haven't had a chance to really even talk to you. You've been so busy, and so have I. So we have not had a chance to talk a lot like we used to. So
it's been a long time.
Yeah, it's good to see that you got that belt and stuff.
Talking about it being a long time, I actually completely forgot how many intros you had, so I sat there waiting on it.
What's that?
I forgot how many intros you had.
Intros? Well, Ricky, he likes to call me Schmucker, and he likes to call me the 5-time loser of his title. Yeah, and did you hear the latest? Ricky thinks he's the greatest NWF World Champion of all time as well. This whole belt has gone right to his head. I'll tell you, he's ruffling the wrong feathers with me. I'll just say that. Not the one to be ruffling feathers with, John. You even know better than to do that, right?
Unfortunately, I do. But here, who was the last one to get his ass beat by me from America?
Who was the last one to get beat by you from America?
You had her.
When did you beat me?
I beat your ass in training.
Oh shit! No, we didn't even have. We didn't do much in training. You're the one. I will say this though. John kept encouraging me, Crush. You got to come back. You got to come back and do
you gotta come back and do a match.
He was my biggest supporter out there. I'll say that.
Oh, wonderful. Wouldn't be a show without talking.
John's a rookie here, guys. Well, we got some great guests coming in. They are. It's Mark and Mykah Martinez. I got it. I think I got it. I think I nailed it.
You got it.
And yeah, that's going to be our guest. And they're a father-son. They're both working with Primos Premier in Colorado. Mykah started very young, we'll find out. And he's just now transitioning into adult training, as well as he's still doing the kids training too, because he is young yet. And we're going to see a little bit of a match between the father-son. They had a father-son match. And John, you're actually a perfect guest because you've had a lot of experience training the kids over there in NIPW. You're like one of the main coaches for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
So
I mean, out of everybody that I've actually trained, I feel like the kids just take to it so much better than the adults.
well, I think they're more eager, really, honestly. Like they want to do this.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
that's what we're going to find out when we bring these two in,
Like the
So,
kids, they know that there's not that much of an opportunity anywhere they go to actually get in a wrestling ring. So when they
right.
do, they make everything count.
So as much as I love wearing the aviators, and I know you guys love seeing the aviators, these, by the way, Ricky, are the proper aviators, not those.
Oh, Ricky. Right, so you're gonna stoop the levels and call me Ricky.
Well,
This
no,
is
no,
your
no, 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 no.
final.
I'm not. No, no, I didn't do that. I'm saying Ricky always says he has aviators. He doesn't have aviators. He has
Oh,
aviator
oh,
wannabes. No, these are aviators. They
okay,
gotta be mirrored or
okay,
dark. He's got like some kind of
okay.
sunglass look. Anyways, I'm gonna take them
Good
off.
save there, coach. Good
I'm gonna
save.
take them off because I gotta see, and I can't see with those. I got to read the comments. We got a few comments, and then we're gonna bring our guests in quick. So let's just get these comments quick. All right. So Tony Begley, he's been a regular. You know
Oh,
Tony.
Tony. Yes.
Late. He's giving us crap because we're late.
Oh, Tony.
Yeah, that's Tony for
Tony,
you.
Tony, Tony.
He's asking for it too, Johnny. I think he wants a match with Crusher for some reason. I don't know why. And he's going to get his. I'll tell you that. He's been shouting his mouth off too much. You don't do that. Not with me.
Yeah. You know what? Ricky's bitten off a wee bit more than he can chew, I think. So, Tony, don't start. Do not start.
I thought you and Ricky were more pals, though, huh? Or no?
We are pals, but you know what? I'll acknowledge when he's wrong. He's like a little brother. So when I see a little brother doing something definitely don't think he should be doing, I'm gonna call him out in it.
Well, I don't know what it is. I think, John, I'm trying to figure out why Ricky doesn't like you've said, well, like I'm going to show you guys an example. John, would you wrestle Crusher?
Would I kick your ass? Yes. Would I
See?
wrestle you? No.
But the point is you'd take a match.
I'd take a match.
Ricky will duck and dodge me left and right, and I'm trying to figure out why. And I think what it is, because he knows I'm the one person who's had his belt several times, and if there's anybody that would want to take it from him, it's me, and he knows it. And I think he's the fear of the unknown for Ricky, because he doesn't know what he's stirring up a hornet's nest if he ever messed with me. I'm telling you that. Kids got to learn.
All
right, I got one more comment, and then we're getting our guests in.
Awesome.
We're gonna shift gears and talk about Primos Premier and this father-son combo. It's gonna be a great thing. Welcome, John. It is great to see you again on the show. I see you are replacing the one belt only Globetrotter. What does he say? Replacing the one belt? Oh, I see what he means. The one belt only, meaning he only has one belt. Globetrotter. Congratulations.
Thank you. And you know what? You know what's better than one? Two.
Yeah, but John, it's kind of like, it's almost like, yeah, I've got all these belts back here too, but when you don't currently hold them, like the one's retired, just like all those, right? It's like, kind of like, yeah, there's that.
But one thing I need to ask you, Crush, did you retire all those titles yourself as the last holder and the person to retire them? Probably not.
That's a good point. You brought up that word retire, because you know what? I never retired. Everybody's saying, Crusher, what are you talking about coming out of retirement? I never had a retirement match. I never left. So I don't want to hear retire because I haven't done that. So remember that. All right. And then one more comment that just came in. Sports Talk, he says, okay, guys, no picking on Ricky when he's not here to defend himself. Let's go Globetrotter. Yeah. Sports Talk is one of the Ricky fans, unfortunately.
Yeah, that sucks. I am solely devastated for you, Sports Talk, to have someone you have to look up to that is as disgusting as Ricky.
All right, guys, our guests are waiting to come on. I'm going to bring them in right now, John. We can talk to them and stuff. So let's bring them in. Here we are. Mark, the father, and Mykah, the son.
How's it going?
Martinez, right?
Yeah, Martinez.
Martinez. Yes. I think I got it right when I did it, right? Did I?
Yeah, the first time, yeah.
Awesome.
All right, from Primos Premier, and I say the Denver area, but I forget the actual name of the town up there. It's one of the suburbs, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, so in the Colorado. And, we have Daryl on a lot. We've had him on several times. We just had him on a while back. And I said, I want to talk, when I heard about you guys, about Mykah making his debut and stuff, I think I got to have these guys come back. We got to talk about this because that's kind of cool stuff, to make your debut and everything and get in the ring. And so, well, John, I mean, I think we should start with this. How old were you, Mykah, when you first started doing the wrestling training?
I started doing the wrestling training when I was like 8 or 9.
Wow, that was young.
8, actually. It was your birthday.
So 8?
Yep.
And did he go every week, or was it like on and off kind of thing?
After his birthday party, it was almost every week.
So every Sunday.
Yep, every Sunday.
Because they do it on Sundays, yeah. Oh, that's getting your feet wet for sure. And I'm sure you start out very easily, right? With probably the rolls and stuff. It's like those guys do. Yeah. And then you kind of work your way into everything else. Now, Mykah, are you like actually bumping then right now and doing actual bumps? Or are you still limited to some of that bumping?
I'm doing bumps.
Yeah, you're taking the bumps?
Mm-hmm.
Because I know, like with the kids, I know out in most of the places that do the kids training, they try to take it easy with some of the bumping. They don't get too aggressive with it. And I don't know how you guys are at Primos. I think Daryl says it all depends on how far along each of them are. They're at different levels, right?
Yeah, it depends on the levels. We do bring out the crash pad a lot for the kids and stuff. He's limit on his bumps too, but he's taking the majority of the bumps.
Yeah. Back bumps, front bumps, all of that type of thing. Yeah.
Yep.
So that's good. And what size ring do you guys train in? Is it 16 foot?
I think it's a 16 or 14 foot.
Okay, either 14 or 16.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So so that's good. And then, then how long ago was it that you had your debut, Mykah, that you actually went into the ring along with yourself, Mark? Was that both your debuts for a match?
Yes, that was both our debuts. It was a few months ago, actually. I got to look back on the dates. On the.
May.
Do you mind me asking?
Yeah, it was
something
May.
about the match.
Yeah, we're gonna watch the match, John. But go ahead.
How did it feel being father and son in the ring and having your debut together?
It was fun. Good story mode.
Yeah.
Oh, and I still got to get a rematch against him. I got to get
was
one
it
up.
announced as a father son? Like, did the crowd know, or was it?
No.
Okay, so you guys like two different. The crowd wasn't like a father son match as part of the storyline.
Right? Yeah. It was mostly his debut, and I came out and stopped it because I felt like as a father he was not ready, but he proved me wrong that day. Because
what a story!
Because I felt like he was too young to wrestle, but I guess I was wrong. Like I said, he won that match on that one, so I got to get a rematch on that.
Got to get that rematch ASAP.
Yep.
Yeah.
And as I understand it, when we were talking off camera, Mykah says he's also interested in getting that Malibu guy in the ring one of these days.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be awesome.
Malibu Bobby, that Daryl Becker, the guy who comes on usually for Primos with us when we talk about. We usually get an update on the kids training and stuff when he comes on, and and then and so John, I mean, you've coached the kids over there in NIPW with the classes every Saturday, pretty much. You're almost always there every Saturday, right?
Yeah, in fact, I'm there
town.
tomorrow again.
Yeah. So you've seen lots of the kids and stuff in the training. And do you have any questions for Mykah based on any of the training and stuff when you start out young?
I'm more interested to know how would you structure your session with the kids. Like, I want to know what the American style of wrestling and stuff like that would bring as opposed to what we would teach. We tend to teach a lot of like chain wrestling and British grappling for the kids, but while as I know American is a lot more bumpy style, how do you kind of get around the training session without having to bump the kids so much?
We do a lot of lucha with less bumps and pretty much with the rolls and stuff.
That's pretty awesome.
Because we learned the train American, we do a lot of bump. We do a lot of grappling too. That's where our other coach comes in, Zeke. He does a lot of grappling. And so we do a lot of chain wrestling as well. but we do a lot of chain wrestling with the luchas, with the rolls and the rolls out ends.
Mhm.
So less bumps.
That is really cool. I haven't really seen many kids, coaches and stuff like that go through lucha with the kids. We've only like started implementing that stuff, but yeah, lucha's great for the kids, especially as well. Like I feel like when we do our chain and we do our grappling with the kids, they don't really come away from the session feeling always 100%. Like I've done like a really crazy fun session. Like I know the kids want to have that feeling of coming away from the session happy after bumping or doing like their favorite moves and stuff like that. But that's pretty cool.
Yeah, same thing with our students too. We try to work on their favorite moves and the grappling, but we try to make it fun. Right now, we're doing the alphabet. Every
That's pretty
Sunday, we have to come in. This coming up Sunday, what letter we're working on?
I think G or F.
No, G.
Yeah, G.
We got to come in with the moves to start with the letter G.
Gee, huh?
Oh, that is a great way to work it.
Yeah,
that makes you think, doesn't it? I'm trying to think. Gee. Yeah.
That's a great
Yeah.
idea because then you can have them like learning the names of the moves as they go along. That's fantastic.
Yeah. Yep. That's what we're doing. Me and Malibu and Zeke. That's what all three of us are doing. Having the kids come in doing the alphabet, and so. But yeah, last Sunday we did F. We did 5-star splash. All the letters that starts with S, pretty much.
And you're lucky today because there's so many more moves now that have variations that have different names, and you'll have a lot of letters that you can get in there. Like I'm thinking back to the day when we did old school stuff. It was much more simpler. You didn't have all that stuff. It'd be tough. G's tough. I'm trying to think right now. What would I do back in the day with G? I don't know. I might have to think about that. But you know, so it's like you have that advantage. The other thing I've noticed too with modern training today versus old training is the integral details. Like it's very much foot placement, you know, run your lanes, all that kind of stuff, positioning. That's a big deal. That wasn't as prominent back in the day. You know, back in the day, the prominent, you know, what they focused on was make it believable, because if people know this is fake, they're not going to buy tickets. So that was the mentality. They didn't really care about if you got hurt or not. They just wanted you to make sure that match looked very believable. Where now it's much more like for your safety and everything. A lot of these moves and stuff are designed for that, and it's as they should be. So I think my point is wrestling's evolved to a better point than what it was. You know, so that's a good thing. So, well, I think why don't we watch this match that we've been talking about of the father-son? But before I do, we got some comments for you guys. Oh, by the way, somebody commented in. I'm not sure who it is, because now that YouTube doesn't give me YouTube channel names, they just do the handles now. But it's AK Info. The match was in May. So your match that we're talking about here was in May. So somebody who knows. And Damien wants to know, Mykah, do you like wrestling with your dad, or do you like wrestling by yourself? Like, so do you like being in there with them? Does it feel you feel comfortable, or would you rather be in there with somebody else? Like, like Malibu Bobby, for instance.
Yes, I do feel comfortable being in there with my dad.
Yeah. Well, I would think so. Yeah. I mean, you trust him. I'm sure there's trust. You know, it's the biggest thing when you're wrestling somebody. You got to trust each other.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Trust
definitely when you do high fly moves.
Yeah. Or even the simplest moves can get messed up. So you got to be, And then SportsTech says, Mykah, what is the biggest problem you find working with your dad as opposed to working with a different coach?
He really wants me to do what's the hook one? Like the hook.
The fisherman hook?
Yeah, the fisherman hook. More like he wanted me to do the fisherman hook a lot, and moves I don't feel comfortable, but he's all right.
He pushes you more, you think? Pushes you more to your limits? That sounds like something the dad would do.
Yeah.
Oh, he's capable of it.
Right.
Mhm.
Well, no, I mean that's just it. You know that, so that's why you want to bring it out. And it's almost like a tough love thing, Mykah. He's doing it because he knows you can do it.
Mhm.
So, and then here's one more question, then we'll get to this match. Mykah, what is your favorite move to do in the ring?
My favorite move is the frog splash.
Just the frog splash off the like second rope, top rope, or any
Top rope.
You like doing off the top rope? Okay. Yeah, frog splash.
Definitely practice. That's his like favorite move.
Yeah.
But he's working on other ones too. He got the elbow drop. It's pretty good coming on.
Okay, so now do you do a back elbow or do you do the side elbow?
The side elbow.
The side, yeah.
Side, yeah. Most of them people do. Although these guys out there like to do a lot of back elbows, I've noticed, especially Ricky.
Yeah, no, Ricky does. He does a lot of back elbows.
Yeah, side elbow though is much more common. And
yeah, like your Macho Man kind of elbow drop.
Yeah, that's how I always.
Yeah.
That's how we were trained on them back in the days. You know, nobody, not too many people were doing back elbow drops back then.
I've got one wee question just on top of all the stuff we're talking about. Have you got any goals together to like travel or to break into any companies coming up? Anything that you want to achieve within the next year?
Or maybe another indie federation that's close by or something that you want to work with or.
Yeah. We both want to do Vagos. Oh, it's a lucha company in Colorado.
What is that exactly?
It's another Colorado company. It's all lucha.
Yeah.
So they just do lucha?
And yes, they even have kids class too. Their kids, it's amazing company. And we work with them, and their guys come over to our company, to Primos, and our guys go to theirs as well.
So that's cool.
That's pretty good.
That's cool, John. They really seem to focus a lot on lucha there in Colorado. I'm getting that vibe.
Yeah.
And that's pretty cool stuff, you know, to have
that is really awesome.
Point. It must, I think, isn't it? Joey has a lot of lucha influence, right? From where he, and that's why he's bringing that in, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, let's watch this match, you guys. It's not very long. It's only maybe 4 minutes, but we'll see this and we'll watch this and then we'll talk about it. So let's bring it in. There we go. And where's the venue at, guys?
This one is at the Rick House, and we do other shows at the Roxy Theater as well.
In the Roxy Theater. Yeah, I knew you did Roxy Theater. And so these are like the two prominent ones you like to do?
Yeah.
See, yeah, the schoolboy. This looks like a 16-foot ring to me, right?
I think that's a 16, 18 footer on that one.
Oh, 18 foot is it?
Yeah. That we have. Joey has several rings he rents out and use.
Okay.
For us. It just depends on how big the venue is. So
I like how you have turnbuckle paddings on the turnbuckles. You don't see that a lot in indie shows. You know, the actual turnbuckles themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. How are the turnbuckles pads look pretty good too?
Yeah, those are very soft.
Yeah, I'm gonna say. So what did it feel like coming out to the ring, Mykah, for the first time in front of a live crowd like this?
Well, I just imagined it was nobody was there.
Yeah, just pretend nobody's there. Were you nervous and stuff before you went out?
Yes.
And how was it? How was it then when you got in the ring?
It felt nice.
So nerves settled down on you?
Yeah.
That's very typical.
One thing I must say on both of your guys' parts in this match, you have great fire and you work great together. This is awesome. I'm loving it.
Thank you.
Anytime. This is awesome.
Is your outfit, Mark, part of the ref gimmick kind of thing?
Yes.
Yeah, that's why I see the stripes.
Yeah.
Ah, that makes sense.
I'm gonna say that this was my first match too, but like I always ref, so
Mhm.
I'm the cholo ref. I come out with shorts and a striped shirt, or the striped shorts and a black shirt. I mix max it.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
Also, on top of that, when you're talking about the ref gigs that you've been doing before this, did you find that that helped you coming up to your debut or anything like that?
yes, yes.
Mykah just took a nice suplex, you guys.
That was a great suplex.
So you can get another one.
Great post, great bump, fantastic.
I have a feeling. We're gonna do a third one.
Three amigos.
Yep, three amigos.
Oh,
Oh,
it's a great
small
counter.
package.
Mhm.
It was a
And he
great
gets
match.
the win. That's a nice way to finish it too. I haven't seen the whole thing. I only seen the beginning part. Yeah, everybody really got into it too. Listen to the crowd.
Yeah, you were on the crowd as well. You did really great with them.
Mike is hightailing it.
Yeah, I was chasing him with the belt.
That was good.
That
Yeah.
was great.
So what did it? So then when you got back, Mike, I bet you probably felt that was so much fun. We got to do it again. I want to get in there again, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that I can understand. So we got some questions I'll bring in quick. Mykah, do your friends at school know you wrestle? And if so, what do they think about it? Or think of it?
Some does, but some don't believe me.
Oh, and then they just don't believe you.
Yeah.
Do you have like a YouTube channel or anything where you can say, well, yeah, I'll just go watch the videos then?
No.
Nothing? Yeah. I suppose a lot of people nowadays too, I guess a lot of people don't want to have kids having YouTube channels because they start getting
Mhm.
weirdos. So there's that side of it too.
Yeah, you do
Mhm.
tend to get a lot of weird people.
Yeah. We were just talking about that, Ricky and I, on the last show. Now that Ricky turned 18, the guys asked him, like, did you ever have any of that happen? Because Ricky started when he was 14, and Ricky said, yeah, there was people. There's weird people on the internet. They're just out there.
Oh yeah. He collects them like Pokemon. Like it's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny, how people get weird like that. But that's just part of it. And we get it on our NWF channel too, because obviously we're showing our kids wrestling back in the day, and they're gonna get those people, same crowd, come in watching our stuff. But what I do when they start commenting weird, YouTube has this great feature called hide user. And if you hide them, nobody sees them anymore, but they can still comment and everything. They don't have any idea they're hidden, but it just kind of makes them disappear.
That's great.
That's what I like to do.
That's mad.
Yeah, because I don't want that stuff, comments and stuff like that, getting weird on our channel.
No, you don't. And to a degree, it can affect your confidence in wrestling. I know for a fact that
Yeah,
like going through that on YouTube as a kid just would not be easy. It's not
right. I can
for the
see
faint
that
heart.
too. As a kid, you don't want it. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So let's see. Then the next comment will be caught up. Mark, I see Mykah is a little quiet here today. How is he in the ring? Does he do a lot of trash talking in the ring? Guys, obviously you're both heels, so I would think so.
Yes,
Oh no, yeah.
actually, he's more comfortable in the ring. That's why I asked him. He's a little nervous, but yeah, he's very crass talkative in the ring.
Yeah.
So
I seen a bit
with
of it
the
on the
little
video.
laugh on his.
So, what is your favorite thing then, Mykah, to do, or what would you want to do then if you wanted to get the crowd to get on your case? What's kind of in your mind? What do you want to do to start getting heat from the crowd when you come out? Is there anything you like say or do or would want to say or do?
No. No.
Or anything you do in the match to get heat? Or you want them to start booing you?
Well, the first match, I didn't really trash talk, but then I started getting a little heat when I trash talk a little, but not really, not that much heat.
Yeah. And how about you, Mark? 'Cause you're a heel too. You're a heel ref. So like, what do you do to get the crowd going?
Pretty much if I don't make it to 3, they get mad. I always
you do like intentional slow counts when it's a baby face or anything like that?
It depends on if the heel picks on me. I'll be a heel back to them.
So it doesn't matter if they're face or heel.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Pretty much is they say I'm a slow counter. I said, no, that was perfect speed, or I talk back, I pointed it back to 2, or I give them they call it the brother finger, the middle finger sometimes.
Right.
And stuff.
It's funny you mentioned slow count because when I went out to Ireland to ref this title match for the NWF belt, I was accused of being a slow count because I was a guest ref, for that match. Well,
yeah.
I just did it as a traditional championship match. Counts were always a little bit steady pace. You didn't do a fast count in a championship match, So I just did that. And they all said, oh, Crusher's too slow of a count. Wow.
Oh, yeah.
I did.
I learned, like, even when I first started as a babyface ref, but I learned you always get heat no matter what, if you're a ref or not.
Yeah, you do.
Like, the refs get picked on more than the wrestlers.
Yeah, I've heard that and stuff. And I've also heard I've heard of some refs too that get annoyed. They actually take it personal. I don't know why.
Oh, I love it. Yeah. I love it.
Well, you're a heel ref, but if you're not if you're not trying to be a heel ref and then they start getting, the crowd starts getting on them, I've heard of a few instances where they get kind of mad with it. And you got to realize, hey, it's just if you're a referee and you can't handle getting the heat, I don't know if you should be the referee even in the wrestling. Yeah. You better be able to take that. You got to have a thicker skin than that, right?
Oh, yeah. You got to let every wrestler know and everybody in that crowd, you are the authority of the ring. And what goes on in my house, my rules, you got to follow.
Yeah, and when we did this championship match, it was kind of old school rules. So, like, I think there was a point where Ricky threw a closed fist, and I warned him. And I issued a warning to the bell keeper, and they actually announced that's a public warning.
That's unreal.
Yeah. It's funny how wrestling's changed. I was just saying last week on Rewind, I some of the things I miss that they don't do anymore is when a match gets out of hand, the continuous ringing of the bell. It was like you keep ringing the bell. Okay, the match is over. Ding, ding, ding. While the heel just keeps beating the heck out of the baby face. You don't see too much.
I believe WWE tend to do a lot of that still.
With the bell ringing still?
Yeah, they'll still do that, yeah.
I just love it. I love that sound of that bell keeping on ringing and the match is not ending.
I'm going to say awesome. I was in JCW when they came to Denver. I refed for them. And one of the matches I was doing, they were doing that. The heel was beating up the baby face and the bell kept on ringing. And I tell them, come out. They were not listening to me. I'm like, come on, it's done. And the bell was ding, ding, ding.
Did they throw you out of the ring or anything like that? Usually that's
no. They finally left, and I helped out the championship. That was Hollywood Haley. So
yeah,
I helped her out. So that was a good match. But yeah, I know exactly what you mean. The bell keeps on ringing.
Well, it gives that intensity. That's like it just adds to the whole heat of what's happening, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I like it. I think. Yeah, I just. But at the same time, like we were talking about how nowadays, the baby face really needs to show their face and sell. When you're getting beat up, you got to do the L. You got to have people got to see you so they can get the sympathy. But back in the day, it was the opposite. If this is real and I'm getting the crap kicked out of me, I'm going to be turtled over. I'm going to be protecting myself because I want people to believe I'm getting like crap kicked out of me. And I'm not going to be doing this if somebody's beating me, right? So it's like it's funny how wrestling's evolved to where they've really articulated this and like we got to sell this, right? We got to let the crowd get in on all of this. It's pretty neat to see that actually. So
I've got a question for Mark because I know with a lot of the refereeing experience you've got, do you ever find you get a lot more heat on yourself rather than the actual wrestlers in the ring? And
Yeah,
if
do you ever
so,
feel the heat?
yeah, like
a little bit. If things don't go right, yes, you get a lot more heated on it, and like pretty much the crowd will eat you alive if you don't do something right, or
Yeah.
if it's not their liking,
Mhm.
almost. So, but like in like backstage, not really, because
Mhm.
I try to do my job correctly, make sure their back is on flat as possible. We'll make sure the counts are correct, making sure ring awareness,
Yeah, ring awareness. Especially
rope
with
grab.
like what I've learned here, hard cam is a big deal. So like if you're when you're reffing,
Yeah.
especially, you don't want to be in the way of the hard cam and blocking the shot.
Yeah.
So you
Mhm.
gotta like keep your corner, whichever corner, and with that hard cam getting all the action.
Yeah, it's the U. When I was learning ref, they told me do a U shape. You know where your hard cam is at,
Yeah.
and keep it in the
On the
U
back
shape,
side.
and
Yeah. Yep.
go the opposite way from the wrestlers. Almost. If they're going to the right, you go left.
And then always try to be on the side of their shoulders. So if there's a pin or something, you're on the right side.
Yes.
Little
Yeah.
things like that. Which I wished I would have known when I was out there. You know, I wish it would have been brushed up more because I was not always on the right side as far as that goes. But yeah. And it doesn't help that Ricky nailed me right in the face with that clothesline either. Let's
Well
see.
deserved.
And then what was I gonna say? So then with I guess I can just think of all the different storylines you guys. I mean, I could imagine Mykah having another match, and you're the referee for it. But then all of a sudden, maybe there's favoritism to your son. I mean, who do you go all sorts of directions with this?
Oh yeah.
There's tons. Mhm.
Yeah, and then that creates a different storyline of something that you could do, and yeah, there could be all sorts of things. It would get maybe build up a match for yourself, Mark. For that happening.
Oh yeah.
Now,
Yep.
Are they ever going to do? I know one of the things Daryl wanted to do is have some actual like kid class matches, like kid matches take place. I don't know if he's gotten to that point yet, but would Mykah ever be interested in doing a match with somebody else his own age to try to showcase a match with any of the kids that would be at his level?
Yeah, we do practice matches on Sundays and stuff. But yes, me and Daryl and Zeke have talked about like getting the kids into matches and with them, and like them going through what they learn. There's some kids that are on the same level as Mykah. We call him Chad.
Chad?
Yeah, Chad. That's his wrestling persona. But he's a heel as well. And then there's a kid called Billy, and him and Billy are good at what they do. They would be a good tag team, but I would like to see them in a match.
Yeah, maybe that can happen. Like, and the way they're starting to do it in NIPW. They've had a few matches now with.
Yeah, I believe this is our second or third that we've had of kids matches in a live audience.
And you usually showcase one match on the show, and the fans seem to like it. It's entertaining for them. And look, wrestling's entertaining. It doesn't matter if you're a kid. I've said this from the get-go, and it's part of my history because of the way how we started. But it doesn't matter if you're a kid or an adult. It's still entertaining, and people get into it. They get into your characters. They get into what you're doing. So it doesn't matter if you're an adult or a kid. What matters is can you entertain the fans?
Yes.
Yeah, that's all that matters.
Right. And that's what it all comes down to. And people, when you're younger and your kids, they're going to give you a little bit of a break too. They're not going to be grading you with a fine tooth comb. Right. So obviously they understand you're still learning and training and stuff. So you'll get you get a bit of a pass that way. But I've always looked at it like, try to always get better, no matter what level you're at. There's never nothing. Nobody is perfect, so they can always improve. So,
absolutely, yeah,
definitely with practice. if you do practice every day, you get better at it. Even though the first day you might not be the best at it, but in a week or two, you keep on doing the same thing, you're going to be good at it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely. And Mark, do you train with the adults as well then?
Yes, I do.
So you go all 3 days?
Yes. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I do, but I mostly go Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Mondays I like to chill with the kids. I
Yeah.
have my oldest boy too. So he's into wrestling, but not into it like we are.
Was that the
But
other one that was on with us last time too?
no, that was my stepson.
Stepson. Does he still do it or no?
No, he right now he just broke his arm, but
Oh,
he's out for a minute.
okay. Did that happen in the wrestling?
No,
Oh, just
he was
something
playing
else.
basketball.
Oh, basketball injury.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So like
Yeah,
each kids are into something,
right.
and
Mhm.
so
Well, John, what did
but
you used to do before you started wrestling? You were into something else. It was what was
I
that?
was in the
Was it
tons.
was it parka or whatever?
No, so I started off with, let's see, water polo, and then I went from water polo to Gaelic, which is one of our sports here, and then I went to what else? Circus. I actually did a bit of circus for a good while, and then landed up in wrestling.
I thought you were doing parka for some reason. I don't know why.
I did have a few classes of parkour, but I didn't
Parkour,
really
yeah.
do anything, to be honest.
Yeah. So I don't know. Sometimes I know Ricky, our normal co-host, he did a little jujitsu, but
Mhm.
it sounds like he wasn't that good at it. He just got beat up all the time in it. So maybe that's why he went to wrestling. And then I did. It sounds kind of funny, right? Like, why? How could wrestling be? Wrestling is actually harder, in my opinion. There's only one other
Yeah.
sport I would put harder than wrestling as far as cardio, and that's boxing. Boxing is tough. If you've never boxed, if you try
Ooh.
boxing 3 or 4 rounds, you'd be surprised how winded you get.
mhm.
Try
Oh,
football.
football too. I mean, I played football when I was young, but
I feel like
Mhm.
another one there they could probably be in the ranks of boxing. I'd say probably swimming, because I remember doing a
oh yeah,
lifeguard degree a couple of years back, and the stuff that they had us doing.
yeah, especially if you competitively swim. Yeah,
Hmm.
um,
Yeah.
swimming's a great exercise, though. Something and that's another thing I do. I swim
Hmm.
like 2 to 3 times a week. The thing with swimming, though, like when you first start swimming, like I got back into it again, and like, man, you do 1 or 3 or 4 laps at my age, and like, oh my gosh, I can't breathe. What's going on here? But as you keep doing it, all of a sudden that's no longer. And now it's my arms that are getting tired, my legs that are getting tired, and then I can go as
Hmm.
long as they can handle it. And then eventually you get used to that. So my point is, if you keep doing at it something, your body will adjust and it will get used to
Hmm.
it. Yeah.
100%.
Swimming's a great exercise. It's a great calorie burn. It's it's not a high cardio, but it's low cardio. It's very steady and
Hmm.
it's really good. And it tones your body nice. It's a good body toner.
Oh
You
yeah,
work when you're swimming, you work every muscle. So
yeah.
Absolutely. Hmm.
do you guys do anything else besides the wrestling training? Like do you go to the gym or do you do anything else? Any other kind of exercising?
I go to the gym. I like to do. I have a air bike at home. I get on for at least an hour a day for that one,
Yeah.
and then I mostly work out at home, do kettlebell exercises and stuff.
Mm.
So
Yeah. Do you have any like mat pads to help practice rolls or anything? Do you do any rolls practicing or
no, I need to get some. I was looking into some so me and him could practice our
yeah.
rolls at home. So, but yeah, that's my next step was getting
Yeah.
some of that stuff.
Hmm.
And then he used to do amateur wrestling and football.
Mhm.
Okay. So
Ooh.
what do you think about amateur wrestling? How long did you do it for though, Micah?
Well, it was at my old school. The club did it like for like half of the year.
Okay. So you learned a bit, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
What'd you think of that compared to the pro wrestling? Do you think there's any similarities?
There's way more grappling
Yeah, with
than
amateur.
than the pro wrestling.
Yeah.
Hmm.
You know, it's funny, back in the day, if you had amateur skills and stuff, that was a plus. Like, they always, for pro wrestling training, if you had an amateur wrestling background, they like that, because in those older moves, there was a lot of integral, there was a lot of crossover. You know, you would take a lot of those moves and blend them in. So, and then if you didn't have amateur wrestling, any kind of physical sport was a plus. They wanted you to have that, you know, that physical endurance. So that was a big deal. So like football, or American football, it is. And,
Yeah.
you know,
I
there's
know
hard hitting sports like that.
I know when they used to do football, some of their workouts were almost similar as we do in pro wrestling. Definitely with fireman carries.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Some of the workouts are, especially the pre-workouts, can get kind of crazy. Some of the things they'll make you do. So I can only imagine. but it's all good. It's all good. It's all for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
So Mark, how, if you don't mind me asking, if you don't mind saying, how old are you?
I am 35.
Okay, you're young, fairly young yet. But even at 35, mid 30s,
What?
let's just say mid 30s anyway. How?
Yeah.
I mean, it's got to be somewhat a little rough getting back in the ring at that age too, though. For you, I would think a little bit. You'd feel it more so than say you're in their 20s, or early 20s.
Yeah, it was hard. It's a little bit different, but like even one of my favorite wrestlers, he started his career off in his late 30s was Diamond Dallas Page.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And so he started like 34, 35.
Yeah. I love listening to his videos. He's such a good inspirational guy. He's always got good messages.
Yes. Yep.
We got some questions for you guys. I'll bring them in. Trying to think where I left off. Okay, I think it was. I don't think I have this one yet. So Gizmo says, Mark, have you seen a change in Mykah since he started wrestling in the ring? Does he show more confidence in life after joining and doing the wrestling?
Yes, he has a lot more confidence in things. He's not afraid on a lot of things, to attempt things. And like he goes for it.
Yeah, kind of a confidence booster, then you'd say.
Yes.
And then this one here from Damien says, Mykah and Mark, who is your favorite wrestler? So if you had a wrestler out there, who would be your favorite for each of you?
I have two, but my most favorite is Dominic Mysterio.
Okay.
Oh, Dominic's very cool.
I'm old school. I'm gonna say Mankind, Mick Foley.
Mick Foley?
Yep.
And the
Or
Mankind
Cactus
character?
Jack.
Cactus Jack was the original, right?
Yep. Cactus Jack.
I remember Cactus Jack on AWA. He was on Super Clash 3, and that's where I first seen him. Like, who's this guy? And he took a back body drop on the floor. And back in the AWA days, they didn't have padding. So
No.
he just took it right on the concrete. Yeah. Just a flat back body drop. It had to hurt. Yeah.
Oh, he was one of his kind.
It wasn't that long ago. It was about a year and a bit ago. I was doing a convention and Mick was also there. And you want to see him nowadays, he doesn't walk the same. Like you can really tell that all the bumps they've really taken a toll on him. But it's awesome to see.
Yeah, I remember Stu Hart too, walking like he was couldn't hardly walk. But if he got a grip of you, man, he'd tear you apart. Even at that age, like he was one of those guys that like to stretch you in the training, just stretch you out. Yeah. Mykah, your face looks a little like Andre the Giant. Well, that's a compliment, kind of. Man, that was a famous wrestler. You know who Andre was, right?
Yeah.
I can see that actually. Yeah, kind of a little bit of an Andre look in a good way. And then Northside says, guys, how did you both get your wrestling names?
I came up with Cholo Ref as a gimmick since I first started because I'm half Native American and I'm half Chicano. So that's where I got that from. And then from him, we just start calling him Cholito. Oh,
Cholito.
yeah, Cholito.
Wasn't
It was going to be Little Cholo, but there's already a wrestler out there named Little Cholo.
Mhm.
So we
One of
went with
the Mykah guys?
Cholito. Yeah.
Mhm.
So we went with Cholito instead.
And then next question here, Sports Video says, Mykah, what is the worst injury you receive while wrestling, if you've received any?
Ooh.
Wait, what was that again?
What
would-
kind of injury?
What would be the worst injury you've come up across so far since you started doing the wrestling? If you've had any, that is.
The worst energy I had was when I was going to do a senton but landed on my back on accident hard.
So you just took a hard backdrop.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, well, you know, when something like that happens, do you get kind of gun shy then with that move, or did you try to go back to it and get it fixed and get that figured out? Or were you kind of intimidated to try it again?
I was intimidated by it again, but I tried it and it didn't. It went well than the last time I did it.
So you kind of evolved from it then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then this Tony Begley says, Mark, how long would you go in wrestling before how am I read this? Mark, how long would you go in wrestling before retiring? Don't give Crusher any ideas. Tony's always giving me a hard time. Always.
That one, I don't know. I'm going to try to stick it out of wrestling till I can't wrestle anymore.
Yeah.
That's one of those things. Is a hard one.
As
I know
Dixie,
a lot of people will do.
well, let me just say this. Dixie Dave, my co-host on Rewind, will say that he always says this: a wrestler's never truly retired until they're in that pine box.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they're always, once you get the bug in you and you have it in you and you've done it and you guys both have, it's always going to be there. You're never going to retire until you're 6 feet under.
One thing I've definitely found that is 100% true is that statement. A couple of weeks ago, I was wrestling a guy who was 80 years old.
80?
Yeah, something around that. So
I
you know what?
I know we trained a few times with luchas, and some of the luchas trainers are in their 60, 65.
Yeah.
Some of them are 70, and they move like they're young.
Yeah,
they do. They're incredible.
Especially if they, if they keep at it and keep active with it, that makes a big deal. And you see, Tony, did you hear what John said? He just went against somebody who was in, 80? Don't even insinuate that I'm too old, Tony. Man, I can't even believe he says that. Jesus.
Old, young in the heart.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And then Tony again says, respect a man who knows his limits. Crusher thinks he can still wrestle a match in the big 25. 25? What does he mean by that, John?
2025?
Oh, in the big 25. Well, you know what? We're almost getting to 26, Tony. You might want to change that. So, just saying. But yeah, no, Tony's just, look, guys, don't be misconstrued here. Tony he so desperately wants a match with Crusher that he's trying to get me to say, all right, fine, Tony, I'll shut you up. Look, the kid's young. I don't want to wreck his career. He's just starting out. So it's like, isn't he like the world's youngest ref over there, John? Wasn't that kind of a deal?
I believe so, but one
Kinda
thing
like
I'll say is, Crush, watch what you say. You don't want to have your ass handed to you by someone half your age.
I don't learn from that kind of
embarrassing.
stuff, John. You should know that by now. I always will speak my mind, and then sometimes it gets me in trouble. But we'll see. That just goes back to the old days back in the day. I never knew when to shut up. We got another comment here. Mark, did your wrestling training ever help you in a real life situation for anything that could ever come of that?
No, not really.
Or do you think it would? Like if something happened, maybe.
It helped me train. A lot of the wrestling does have a lot of street fight knowledge, even jiu-jitsu, even amateur. I learned a lot more. If it comes down to it, I know what to do. That
Well,
to
the
apply it.
wrestling, but the wrestling training for sure helps you endurance, and there's stamina and all sorts of other benefits that you're getting from it that will help you in real life situations if you ever needed to have endurance and stamina. That's definitely going to help.
Yeah,
I mean, that goes without saying. But yeah, I mean, and then I was going to say too with that also. I don't know if you guys do it there, but I know they do it in Northern Ireland. They like to do shoot grappling as part of their training. So that they do is they go back to back, and it's kind of like an amateur situation. You just do it so you can get a
also
takedown.
we do.
Do you do the same?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We actually do shoot wrestling sometimes.
Yeah.
And that we usually do shoot wrestling when we have another coach there on Tyra's, our coach Tyra's days on Wednesdays. But yeah, we actually do shoot wrestling just to make sure we know what to do in case anything happens in real, like you said, in real life.
Yeah, or sometimes you might even be in a match in a situation where you got to settle somebody down for some reason. It could happen, and if you do, you want to know what to do.
Yeah,
I've had a few of those situations.
Yeah, because you never know when tempers flare in the ring, and you got to sometimes calm somebody down. So,
yep. That's what our coach Tyra always says. Something that sometimes will happen, and you need to know what to do.
Right. And back in the day, in the carnival wrestling days, like the guy who trained me, Eddie Sharkey, he was what they called a hooker. Now I'm not talking hooker as you think today. A hooker back in the day was somebody who they'd bring into the circus, because back in the days with pro wrestling in the circus, it was they go to town to town to town, and they'd always let the locals come in and try to challenge their wrestlers. And if you could beat them, you get the pot of money or whatever they have built up. But every now and then, though, you get a big old farm boy who knew how to wrestle, and that could be a problem. That's when they bring the hooker in, because the hooker, what he would do, that would be Eddie Sharkey in this case, he would do something illegal that he could get away with that nobody would catch, an arm lock, an arm hold, whatever, and get this guy to tap out or whatever or quit. So that was his job. So they would always have somebody and every circus would always have that guy in case they needed it. Because bottom line is the circus isn't going to lose money. The locals aren't going to win a match. It's funny how that works. But yeah, so that's just it. So you guys do that too. It seems like everybody I've talked to does that, John. They have a little bit of that shooting training, which I think is kind of a good thing.
I think it's really important to teach that everybody comes into wrestling. There is always going to be that one part in wrestling that you need, and it's always going to be shoot style wrestling. You never know when you're going to need it.
Yeah. Plus, there's also a sense of, you got to be certain toughness for this whole thing. And like, if you can't handle that, or you can't handle, some of the hard bumps and stuff, it's maybe not for you. So, nothing wrong with that. It's just, it's not for everybody. A lot of people find that out. They'll come and they'll train for a few days, and all of a sudden, what happened to that guy? Oh, he's not showing up no more.
Yeah, absolutely.
You got to be physically and mentally strong. Because it takes a toll.
Yeah,
it does, definitely. And you're right with the mental aspect as well. That's one thing I always try and preach to our guys. If you're not mentally strong, this sport is going to have its way with you.
So let's see. Here's a question for Mykah. Mykah, has wrestling taught you to control your emotions in school and life when you get angry? Like, does it give you any discipline on anger management ever when you get mad?
Yes, it has. Like, if anybody gets me mad, I usually calm down, act like I'm in a wrestling match.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good.
mostly walk away.
Mm-hmm.
See, I would think that maybe some of the kids, when they find out about the wrestling, might get, there has to be maybe a little bit of jealousy sometimes that you might find from some of the other kids. You ever get any of that?
No.
No? Like the ones that don't believe you, maybe it turns into that as well. Or if any of the other kids that find out about it want to know how they can do it too, have there ever been any of that?
No, not really.
So not too many people on huh? Do you have any friends at school that do train with you or no? All their
No.
kids come from different places. Yeah.
No.
And let's
Not
see.
really.
Tony's got a wall text message here. Let's see.
Oh,
John, I have
Jesus,
enjoyed spending my time with on plenty of occasions and would 100% agree with him and want to say, Crusher, it would be a bad to get beat by someone half your age, but even worse, quarter of your age. My Tony's making a lot of assumptions here, guys. He's assuming that Ricky or John are going to beat me. What, do you got some kind of magic ball there that you can see the future? I mean, Tony, you got that pool and that raft. Why don't you just worry about Tony needs to worry about Tony, is what Tony needs to do. Jesus. He's all worried about Crusher here, just like Ricky.
Tony's got his head screwed on.
I would say if Ricky was still a Canary Kid, I'd say birds of the same feather flock together, but I can't say it anymore because he changed his name to the Globetrotter. Let's see. Then we got a question. Sports Talk says, Mark, is it safe? Oh, Mark, Sports Talk, you know that Ricky will get on you for that. Ricky loves to pick up on spelling errors. But he says, Mark, is it safe to assume you are from America? If so, what state do you live in? And if you don't mind me asking, well, we kind of covered this, but go ahead, Mark, and answer that a bit.
Yes, I am from America. I am from Denver, Colorado. That's where Primos Pro Wrestling is from. And that's what we train as well. It's Primos.
Yep, and Primos.
But yeah.
So what's the future plans? I mean, we've talked about everything you've done and stuff and a lot of what's going on, but like, what is the plans for the future right now? Like, is there anything on the horizon match wise for either one of you that you're working towards, or another show that you're going to be on? Maybe anything? What's coming down the pipe?
I know I'm going to be roughing our next show. It's December 14th, the Omega.
Yeah, I'll bring that graphic in. This is what we're talking about. The Omega 9, December 14th.
And that's all women wrestling. And
it's all women's matches?
Yeah, that's all women's wrestling right there.
Wow.
With Mykah, we did the Alpha. That's when he had his debut, and that was in May.
Okay, I see what they're doing here. And then, so that's why it's Omega 9. It's all women's. And then Alpha would be all men, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is at the Roxy Theater.
Yeah.
In Denver. So bell time 7 p.m. and that's going to be coming up here December 14th. So what, about 2 weeks away roughly?
Yep, roughly 2 weeks. Yep.
So, for those of you in the Denver area, this would be something great to see. If you've never seen independent wrestling, indie wrestling, you should really check it out. It's a whole different thing, guys, compared to the big, what you watch on like WWE when you're watching TV. Indie's a much different experience. Well, it's different yet it's the same, but it's a unique experience that you have to really see it live.
Oh yeah. Or they could catch it on Thriller, or the streaming app called Thriller as well.
Okay, so if they can't make it to there, they can watch it live on streaming.
Yes.
Thriller. Yeah. So that's good I wanted to make sure it's a good segue there you gave me, because I wanted to bring that graphic in to talk about your next event coming up with Primos. And let me see. There's another comment here. Tony. Why Tony again, you guys? Okay, Crusher, I'll leave the beef aside for one question, and I'm wondering, how did you find out about NIPW and how was it reaching out? So I think he's asking me how I found NIPW. Well, the way I found NIPW was actually stumbling across Ricky's matches, Canary Kid, because anytime back in those days, it was hard to find young kids wrestling that are in their young teens like we were back in the day out. And if I ever seen anything like that on YouTube, it caught my eye, because it's like, I want to know what they're doing. Are they doing it? Was it like us where it was grassroots and we were doing it ourselves, or is they got, how's this happening? And I always differentiate between that backyard. Like backyard doesn't interest me. I've seen enough of that. But when I see something more organic in a wrestling ring and everything like that, that's what catches my eye more. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to diss on backyard, but I'm just saying that's catches my eye. And that's how I found Ricky, and I found of NIPW. I knew of it. And then we'll fast forward a little bit later when I met Keaton, who's another young guy like Mykah who's training in the juniors. And I got to know him. Then I learned more about NIPW. And then eventually I got John to come on with me as a guest. Because John is just like Ricky. John started when he was 14 years old. So that's, and how, Mykah, you're young. You were 8. But for all of us, like me, John, and Ricky, we all started when we were 14. So it's like that, and that to me is an interesting thing. The only difference between me and those guys is they got proper training right away. That's so jealous of that. We didn't have that. Nobody was training kids in the 80s, guys. This is not a thing. So there was nobody that would or anything unless you were the son of the trainer or the promoter. Maybe you'd have a chance, but otherwise, yeah, there was no avenue. So, but these guys got to start, very young, just like you, Mykah. So and get proper guidance and training. So that's pretty cool. It took us a long time to get there, and where you guys have got a big advantage.
I do know that the company that we work for, the company that we teamed up with, Vagos, they have like 4-year-olds and like 5-year-olds trained there.
Really? That young, huh?
Gee.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When they do like lucha flip and all, it's amazing. It's really awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It shouldn't be a surprise, because if you think about it, karate, they start that young.
Mm-hmm. True.
So if they can start young in karate, why not in gymnastics? I know they start really young there too. So this is no different, guys. It's just a different thing. Pro wrestling.
It's a blend of both.
Yeah, it's like it's another art form of entertainment. It's like all these other things. And people say, yeah, but these are sports and you're really not competing in pro wrestling. Don't be fooled. The competition in wrestling's there, guys, in pro wrestling. It may not be in a match, but you're competing with each other to do the best, to be the best, to look the best. That's a competition in of itself. People don't realize that, on the outside. They forget that there's that element, Like Mykah, I'm sure when you had your debut match, being probably the first kid to have a debut, right? Out of Primos.
Mm-hmm.
You probably wanted to make sure you looked the best, because you want to make sure all the other kids know that you represented that well. So there's a competition there in of itself. So, John, what else? Do you have any other questions?
I actually do. On top of us talking about your first matches, how did you find dealing with the pressure of planning the match? Did you have anybody backstage helping you plan with your match, or was it all just you? And how did you deal with the pressure of just going out there?
We had our coach Tyra and coach Joey. He helped us out plan the match and stuff, and how it should go. And we worked on it pretty much almost every day till we had our debut. But yeah, it was mostly Coach Tyra and Joey planned it out, because we didn't even expect us having a match. It just springed on us.
So they kind of had a game plan of what they wanted you to do.
Yes.
As a match, yeah. Did you have any input on that, or was it pretty much just them telling you this is how it's going to go?
Oh, we have a little bit of input on it, and then they helped us develop it.
Yeah, it makes sense. And did you have a lot of friends and family at that show to watch this?
Yes.
I would imagine. And what did they all think?
They were very happy. They could see him moving up toward more towards his dreams and becoming more and more into wrestling. A lot of his family thinks he's gonna make it to WWE.
And Mykah, I don't know if I asked, but how old are you right now?
I am 10 years old.
Wow. So I'm thinking you're older. I'm thinking like you're 12. So you're still fairly young yet.
Mm-hmm.
So you started when you're 8 and you're 10. So about 2 years now. So you had your debut after 2 years and stuff of training. That's pretty cool. Yeah. And you want to keep doing it, right?
Yeah.
You definitely want to keep at it. And
Yeah.
I'm telling you something, right now, and just what I seen in that match where you're at right now, just imagine where you're going to be in another couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
So, the sky is the limit. So
that's what a lot of vets been telling them too. Oh, definitely
Mhm.
after that match, they see us a lot of skies.
right,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Well, and you got the bug, because once you get out
You
in
do.
front of a live crowd and you get in that first match, that's where the bug starts. And,
Mhm.
It is indeed. You can't get rid of it.
No.
Oh yeah, and he already did 2 matches after that, but they were rumbles.
Yeah, but
so
that's still fun too, though.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Still got my revenge on the second rumble he was in. I threw him out. So
You're still, yeah.
Uh,
Mark's still bitter on this pinfall. Yes.
yeah. Yeah.
Well,
I consider that as a win, but it was not on TV. But I still consider that as a win. Yeah.
look, there's always that going to be that time for a rematch, though. So you never know when it'll happen. So.
Oh yeah.
And but listen, guys, I want to thank you for coming on. It's been a great interview. Was there anything else you wanted to get out? Did we talk about everything that cover everything good for you? And
Yeah, I think we talked everything. We do want to say a shout out to Malibu and Tyra and Joey for thank you for everything they done for us. So and
yeah.
Definitely Malibu. He's a good teacher and
yeah, well, he's the one I talk with the most myself. He's the one who helped get in touch with you guys to come on for me. He's kind of the liaison, right?
Yep.
And then also he helped provide me some to get pictures, to get you to get me pictures and stuff. So he's been a good asset for me too.
Yeah.
And Joey, I talked to initially just to get set up with you guys, but sounds like he's got a great program going for all of you, though.
Oh yeah, he's a very busy man, very busy man. He just got into. He's about to go to Japan for a competition out there for death matches.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that's a big thing for him, and I congratulated for him. And definitely going to Japan. That's around the world. You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So,
well, we're always gonna keep track. We'll probably keep following up with you over time and see how you're coming along. Another 6 months or so, maybe have you come back on and talk again and see how things are going. Maybe show another match or two that you'll have by that time. And
oh yeah,
I want to see the rematch by then. I want to see the rematch.
Oh yeah, there's got to be a rematch, right? We got to have that.
We'll talk to him about maybe when Omega comes back around. Maybe hopefully we get our rematch. That'd be our anniversary for that one.
And guys, before I let these guys go, I just want to remind everybody again that the next show is December 14th, 2025, Omega 9 at the Roxy Theater in Denver. Make sure you check this out. And what can it stream on again, Mark?
On Thriller.
Thriller. Is it thriller.com?
Yeah, thriller.com. And that you could download it on Google or Apple and the streaming apps.
Yeah, so you guys can go check out and see what these guys are all about. That's pretty good outfit there, I think. And I think, yeah, they even had some guys. Some guys. I'm trying to remember if that was Primos. Yeah, I think. It doesn't matter. But they have. I know with Daryl. You said you wanted a match with Malibu, right?
Yeah.
I was trying to remember what he told me. I think he said he's hoping to have clearance here by early next year. So that's maybe in 6 months you'll have a match with Malibu Bobby by that time even.
I do know that Malibu, he wants his last match to be with him and all the kids.
Yeah, well, one of the things Malibu told me that he likes the most from the kids training is at the end of the training when he lets you guys come in and basically beat him up. That's his favorite part. kind of let all that energy out, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining us. It was a great interview. And like I said, we'll see you again then probably I'd like to follow up another 6 months or so. We'll have you come back and see where things are at.
Okay, yeah. Thank you for having us again. This is the second time I was being on here. We're always welcome and humble to be on here with you guys.
Well, we just love having guests come on every now and then, especially from the indie feds, because to me, that's where the life is in wrestling these days. That's where the real fan is with the indie fans. So, all right, guys. Well, thanks for coming on.
Thank
you
you
guys.
That was a great interview, John.
Hell yeah, absolutely.
I really enjoyed that. That was just learning about everything they've done and everything. It was great.
Absolutely.
There were a few comments coming in, and I just thought I'd wait until we're done with our interview with these guys because it kind of was for you. Let's see. Well, listen to this. Crusher, you know we love you, but looking at John now, I think he might have an edge over you. John, we have seen your past match, and you are looking great. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Gizmo. Crusher Crossen. Look. John knows. Why do you think John never talks smack to Crusher? Because he knows that that's not a good idea. Ricky likes to run his mouth, but John has learned his lesson before. I think John knows better. So John knows that no. I'm taking this comment right off the screens. What I'm gonna do with that comment.
You know what, Gizmo? I really appreciate you. And I know with a wee bit of Alzheimer's going on there, Crusher isn't thinking properly and he's not got everything, sorted in his head. But from my perspective, I see that you're speaking nothing but straight facts.
John, I mean, come on, man. You don't want to mess. You wouldn't want to mess with Crusher. Come on.
You wouldn't want to mess with Crusher.
Yeah, Crush. You and your frail body, mate.
And then there's a question here from Damien. John, I like the way you co-host. Ricky sometimes mentally wanders off during the show. You are laser focused and conduct a great interview.
I appreciate that. I tend to try and listen out to the guests that we have. I know that Ricky has a way of trying to keep a lot of the focus within the two of you guys, but I like to listen to our guests as much as we can. I know that Ricky has better questions than me, but I do like learning about people's stories, and that's
also,
the most important thing.
And not to pick on Ricky, but Ricky has ADHD, I believe. So sometimes he wanders, but it's because it's part of Ricky, and it's nothing against Ricky, but sometimes he gets distracted. It's hard for Ricky to stay focused because that's part of the ADHD territory. It's just, it's trying to keep focus all the time. It can sometimes be a challenge. Like Ricky says, he can't even read a book hardly unless he just doesn't like, that's one of those things that, you have to really stay focused if you're going to read. And so I can see all that. And John's just laser focused on everything.
It's that and also I can't see, but it's a mix of both.
And then Sports Tech says, easy there. Ricky brings the wild side, and you never know what is going to come out of his mouth next. This keeps us on our toes. Well, that's for sure. And a lot of things come out of his mouth, John.
Someone's got to hit the beat button at some point for him.
I mean, I'm telling you, man, that Ricky's, and this is the thing with Ricky. He talks all tough when I'm not around. But the moment I show up in Northern Ireland, John, what does Ricky do? He puts on the dog and pony act with me and acts super respectful and everything else because he knows he'll get his tail kicked if he doesn't. So he knows.
I mean, all I'm going to say is I've only ever seen the two of you in the same room twice, and that has only been when it's been mandatory. I know he doesn't like being around you, and you don't like being around him, but man, you got to settle it someday with him. You've got to settle it someday.
John, I've always been there. I've always been willing to meet Ricky in any way, shape, or form in the ring, but it's Ricky that runs from Crusher. Remember that. It's Ricky that runs from Crusher, not Crusher running from Ricky. Let's make sure we get that real clear. Tony. Speaking of Tony, speaking of Rocky, recently, where is Ricky and why isn't he on the interviews? Speaking of Rocky.
Probably auto-corrected. He ain't no Rocky Balboa.
I was gonna say he is not no Rocky, but John's more Rocky Balboa than Ricky. I gotta say. But no, Ricky had some things come up.
Mm-hmm.
He told me earlier this week, and so I reached out to John because John has done this before, and I always, because we stream on the NIPW channel and the NWF channel, I like to have somebody from the NIPW here, and so that's why John stepped in for Ricky this week. That's the story, but also I think there's a fear factor. I think Ricky's afraid of Crusher right now for some reason because of the shape that Crusher's getting into. You know, John's sitting there flexing and everything. Look, I'm in my mid 50s and I'm looking, and it's because of the progress I made. This guy starts hitting the gym. Now, is that a coincidence? I mean, John, you were a physical specimen before, but now you're getting even more so because you followed my lead. I'm just saying.
Crusher, you don't want the smoke. You do not want the smoke.
Do I or don't I? You don't know what I want. But I know that Ricky doesn't want the smoke, and he's made it very clear. I just don't know where this cowardly streak comes in. He's not like that with you. Why do you think Ricky's afraid to get in the ring with me, John? I'm just curious what your opinion of it is.
It's like getting your granddad to come over and beat your ass because he knows exactly how it is and how it should be.
So you think he'd be afraid to lose to somebody as old as me?
I think you're so wise to a point where he just doesn't want to accept that you're right.
Well, that could
But he's
be.
afraid to accept that you're right because you're wise. You understand this business.
You know, I personally think, John, what it is because Ricky knows. Ricky's had all these title defenses. What has he been? NWF champ for 6 months now, maybe 5?
Something around that.
And he's running around saying he's the greatest NWF champion in history. He thinks he's the best that's ever held it. And he's never really had a challenge yet. I mean, Keaton gave him a challenge, but look, he hasn't had somebody come in who's been a 5-time holder of that title that if I were to come in there and get in there, he knows that I know what it's like to be that champion. And that's, I think, what he's afraid of the most. Mm-hmm. He hasn't had anybody like that. Has he even offered you a championship match?
He has not offered me in any way, shape, or form a championship match because I am the belt collector of NIPW. I am the only person to have held every single championship that we have made in the singles department.
And John is the current NIPW heavyweight champion, folks.
Yes.
So that's what's happening with Ricky, Tony. And then this is a great segue into what I'm going to bring in next, but then John and I are going to sign off. But Crusher, when are we going to find out the big news you have been teasing? Are we going to see a Christmas showdown?
Uh-oh.
Well, the big news, let me talk about that. So this is what we have coming up on our next show, everybody. Well, first, before I talk about the next show, let me talk about Rewind. As you know, NWF Rewind has been moved to Saturdays right now for all of December, and I don't know about January yet, maybe part of January. So Rewind is on Saturdays, and our next Rewind shows are going to be a week from tomorrow, and it's this. Back to the beginning of Group W Cable, the infamous, oh my gosh, these days. And watch, this is a show that Ricky will pop in and make his cameo because Ricky says he's going to show up on a Rewind show. He'll pick a show like this to make fun of me. Is what he'll do. I can see that already. But I know, Gizmo, I know you guys and all the NWF fans love this early stuff. And let me tell you something, Brian Peterson with those chairs, man, he'd hit you. He'd hit you hard. Too hard for being kids, but gave Mike a big old goose egg once.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, it got to the point where because of Peterson's chair shots, we had to make a rule that if you brought a chair in, it was an automatic disqualification, and that was a real deal. Like, chair shots were getting out of hand. So yeah, Group W Cable Studio Days. This will be fun. Studio Taping 31. That's going to be a week from tomorrow. And then that'll be Saturday. Watch Ricky show up on that show. I could see it already. And then after that, John, and this is why I say that was a good segue, because the next Forward show that we're going to have, which is going to be 2 weeks from today, major announcement. The time has come. What does that mean?
Oh, here we go.
So we're going to find out, I guess. Now, the question is, will Ricky show up for the major announcement? He's already ducking and dodging the podcast, for crying out loud.
Show Dodger Ricky Henry.
The show dodger. The Roadrunner. The Roadrunner. Meet, meet, zoom. He's gone, right? He's not even showing up for the podcast. But yeah, so major announcement. This should be interesting. We'll see what happens, guys. We're going to find out in 2 weeks by the sounds of it. So there's the answer to that question, guys. And then I want to see, I think we got some venues to talk about quick. This is coming up this Sunday.
Yes, this Sunday.
Breakout,
NIPW.
Breakout 10. And it's sold out. Right?
Yep, sold out.
And who are you facing, John?
I am currently slated to go one-on-one, my title on the line versus Ben Nelson with his title on the line. It is the NIPW Northern Ireland Championship against the NXG Junior Heavyweight Championship.
Now, I thought it said initially the titles weren't on the line. Has that been changed?
I believe they are. Now, that could change come show day. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I know...
I thought I seen titles not on the line, just a respect and pride thing. That's what was mentioned at first when they first announced the match.
I'm not 100% on it. Again, I may have to go check the poster on it.
John is so busy, he's not even sure if he's defending the belt or not. But the point is, you're wrestling Ben. And it's
yes,
Ben,
I'm wrestling Ben this weekend.
Ben Nelson is the new NXG, well, not NXG, the new...
Yeah, NXT Junior Heavyweight Champion.
NXT Junior Champion. So he won the belt, Ricky's first belt. So he's got that belt now. And that has to do with how Ben pinned Ricky in that scramble type match to get to the shot to be able to get that belt. And he did. So,
and you know what? There's one main benefactor of all of these championships, and it is me, because I am the first NIPW Northern Ireland Heavyweight Champ. I was the first NXT Junior Heavyweight Champ. I was the last Resolution World Heavyweight Champ and the last SIW Academy Champion, and soon to be double champ.
However, have you ever held the NWF World Championship? Let me answer that for you. But no, you haven't.
Damn it, Crusher.
I just had to get that in.
I will fly you over and beat your ass.
Some people
I'll send you back in a one-way plane.
John, they're saying that I'm being a little heelish. I'm not being heelish. I'm just being Crusher. I'm just being Crusher. Not being heelish.
Yeah.
Another venue I want to talk about is, let me see if I want to make sure I get the right one here. This one's coming up. The Grand Social, December 7th.
Grand Social.
That's next weekend, not this weekend, but next weekend.
That is next weekend. Yep.
And who are you facing on this one?
This one, I have a triple threat match where my title is also again on the line against Tommy Cartel, who is from Scotland, representing Andy Roberts' place, Power Pro Wrestling, and Halfdan.
And Halfdan. So it's a triple threat?
Yep, triple threat for the title.
The title's on the line. Are you
it concerned? Is 2 defenses.
Concerned about losing that, and those triple threats can get wild and crazy.
I am, but you know what? I have confidence in the fact that I study. I study long and I study hard of each and every single person that I wrestle, and I know exactly what I'm doing in that ring. So come that day, I will know everything about my opponents.
Yeah, so that should be yet to be determined, but yeah, so interesting stuff. I thought I had a graphic for Ricky's title defense, but Ricky does have a title defense coming up Sunday. And Nathan did send me a graphic. Hang on 1 second, guys. I would like to put that graphic in. I should, right? So let me just get that quick. I know he sent me a graphic for it. I just can't remember where I put it. Because we want to show that graphic. There it is. Okay, I'm just going to bring this in quick. Sorry for the delay. Because I always like to talk about the NWF title matches since we're on the NWF channel and people are interested to know. So, get that graphic here. There it is. And this is his title match coming up on Sunday.
Yes.
Do you know much about this guy, Adam?
So Adam is one of our newer guys. He has just graduated from the 8-week beginner course.
Okay.
He is one of the top beginners out of a very, very talented group that has just came through. And my good gracious, this guy is one of the best people I have ever seen wrestle within a squared circle. He knows his craft, and I can tell you this, he's going to give Ricky Henry a run for his money that he has never had before. I'm looking forward to it.
Wow, I mean, you sound pretty confident for Adam then.
Adam is fantastic at everything that he's done. I have never seen someone so talented. Him and his friend Tom, the two of them have both just graduated. Tom also has a match against Samson Law. This is a match that you will not want to miss, especially if you're watching this from the NWF Forward channel. Tune in as soon as these matches are posted, especially this match.
Yeah, this should be pretty good. And of course, you see Ricky with those fake aviators. It's not like the real aviators like Crusher has, but yeah, just got to point that out. But yes, this should be very, very interesting to see what happens here. I mean, and this was the idea that Nathan wanted to have Ricky face the new up and coming talent, as much as possible. So this is why Adam's getting a shot. So,
well deserved from Adam.
Yep. And I know that Ricky also had told us last show that he's hoping to bring the NWF belt to his bookings he's got coming up here. That you guys are going to with over
Manchester.
In Manchester, yeah.
Yes.
So. And I'm sure you're gonna, if you still have that belt, you'll be bringing that belt as well.
When I still have that belt, I plan on keeping it, and there's no changing in this idea. I do not want to lose it. Yes, I will be bringing that over to Manchester on December 13th. I do have quite a busy schedule coming up. I do have, let's see, the week prior to that, I have 3 dates all on the exact same weekend. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, wrestling. The weekend afterwards, straight over to Manchester, England, defend this bad boy and make the English people weep.
And when do you go to Manchester? Isn't it? I think it's the week. It's when we do our forward show. I think that weekend.
Yes,
because I know Ricky.
13th of December.
I think he said he flies out the next day of the show. So, and guys, Ricky should be on our next show. He has it in his calendar, so we'll see. But I would say Ricky would want to be on that next show. I'll just leave it at that.
He should be.
Couple comments, and then we're gonna wrap it up, guys.
Awesome.
So Tony Begley, here we go again. Crusher loves to say he's the 5-time winner, forgets to say he lost the belt 5 times with a big smiley face. And also, I would add Ricky being the greatest NWF champion. He added character to the title, Crusher. Tony, you have not done your history, because if you knew the character Crusher had back in the day, nobody outperformed me. Even Ricky, as dramatized as he is, pales in comparison to the Crusher character back in the day. I'm just saying. I was the mind, the myth, the legend. And I just got to say that, John. Gizmo and those guys always compare me to Ricky, though. Well, I should say they compare Ricky to me. Whenever they see me doing an interview back in the day, they say, "Man, this sounds like this sounds just like Ricky Henry does, just like Ricky Henry does." What can I say?
Yeah, you know what? I can see it.
I'm not saying I influenced Ricky, because I don't. He never really knew me, but he does resemble Crusher. I'm just saying. And then North Side, this is for you, John, says, "John, I must admit I had my reservations about you when you first came on the show. After watching you and your matches, we have a newfound respect for you. You have become one of our favorites too."
Oh, awesome. That is class. That's one thing that I always love. anytime I get told that I'm someone's favorite, I just know that feeling of having a favorite. It just makes me happy. And I'm just proud to be able to actually sit here and talk away on a podcast like the NWF Forward and share my views on wrestling, and also get to talk to people who are within this industry and who are interested in wrestling the way that I'm interested in it. It's great. It's awesome. Thank
John's a real student of the game, you guys. I don't think you'll find anybody who knows John that won't say that. So
you. Thank you.
he's dedicated beyond dedicated. So
I appreciate that.
it is his life. So
It is, yeah.
you know, and that's the thing. You get it in your blood like that. There's people that do it, and then there's people that do it at a different level, and that's where John is. So all right, guys. Well, we're going to sign off. We're kind of at the end of the show. I want to thank everybody for tuning in, and I want to thank John for stepping in for Ricky and filling in.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it, John. You know that. And
Anytime.
but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the show, and we will see again. Like I said, me and Dave will be on a week from tomorrow, and then my announcement, major news announcement, I'm going to make in 2 weeks. No
2 weeks time.
No guest scheduled for that Forward show. So that should be quite interesting. We'll see what comes of it. And by the way, guys, I did talk to Ricky about your comments I shared with him on how you liked how he was out of character last show and how much you enjoyed that. And Ricky said that that's something that we should definitely entertain going forward, so that we will, try to give you more of me and him and out of character stuff and everything. But I did forewarn you guys that we will be in the character a little bit more so than usual, though, with things coming up on the horizon. So just remember that. All right. So thanks for tuning in live, guys, and we'll see you next time we are live